Hello and welcome to Meet the Newsmakers. I'm Jon Garlick and I'm here with our own Lisa Davis. She is a columnist, journalist, humorist, really Anniston's version of Irma Bombach.
Aw.
Lisa, hi.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming down this morning.
You are very welcome.
Now,
I was excited / terrified when you asked me to come on.
Don't be terrified.
But
It's just,
okay.
there's 30,000 people watching us right now. It's okay.
But you've compared me to Irma Bombach, which is good because I am not a newsmaker.
Well, you are a newsmaker because you're here. And so your column comes out every Saturday in the Anniston Star.
Every Saturday in print in the Anniston Star.
And it's hysterical.
Oh,
And it's homey.
Thank you.
It's very much Irma Bombach.
thank you.
Mark Twain.
Ooh.
I mean, it's very
Ooh.
local and funny. You did one. I want to say it had a squirrel in it. Did you do one with a squirrel in it? There was a critter in one of those. I can't remember now, but it made me laugh.
Oh,
But that's
there were
okay.
mice.
There were mice.
I know I've written about squirrels, but I don't remember the squirrel column.
Well, give us a
mice.
little of your background because you've been here. You've been in Anniston forever.
Yes, moved here in 2003 and then went to work for the Star. Hold on, I have to look this up. 2009. So.
Okay.
Yes.
So you came in 2003, really?
Yes.
I would have thought you'd been here longer. I've been here since '85.
Ah.
Wow.
Nope. I grew up in Texas.
Oh.
Went to college in Texas. Actually, sort of my first exposure to journalism and humor writing was in high school. So my senior year of high school, I needed an English credit. The only one that would fit my schedule was the high school newspaper. I don't think I'd ever read the high school newspaper, to be honest.
Okay.
But it's like, I need an English credit, I'll sign up. My very first story I ever wrote for them, they misspelled my name in the byline. So instead of Lisa, I was List. So I still have friends from high school who call me List.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So from high school, you went to what college?
Texas Christian University in Fort Worth. I grew up in Fort Worth. And I was actually a piano major my first year.
Really?
So yes, I thought that was really my true love through high school and where I put all my energy, and I thought, okay, I could do this. I knew I didn't want to perform because I have horrible stage fright, hence the terrified when you asked me to come on camera. But
Deep breath. So you still play the piano?
I do still play the piano. I managed to major for a year before I kind of got burned out and realized I'm just tired of spending this much time alone in a room with a piano. I let it drop for a long time after college. And then I go to Grace Episcopal Church, and the priest in charge at Grace needed a pianist for his early 8 o'clock service. So he was like, "You want to come play the piano?" And I was like, "Okay, sure." I get myself in a lot of trouble with, "Okay, sure, why not?"
Yeah, we all do.
So I am playing again, and it's really great.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're playing at church in the morning.
I am.
Oh, very good.
8 o'clock service.
One of these days, I'll get back to going. Okay, so how did you get into journalism from being a music person?
There was a friend in my dorm who worked on the college magazine, which was always desperate for writers. I think every magazine still is always desperate for writers. So she found out I worked on my high school newspaper, not realizing that I didn't really write for the high school newspaper. I think I wrote poems about how bad the lunchroom food was. I mean, but
There you go.
but she asked me to write a story on her. I think it was on video games, which were still kind of new. This was the early 80s.
Right.
So I went, to a local hangout and talked to kids who were playing video games and realized, okay, I actually like talking to people as opposed to spending time with the piano. So I switched to journalism as my major. After college, I went to work, and I thought I wanted to be a magazine journalist as opposed to a newspaper journalist, because I did like long form, and I liked having time to research and write a story as opposed to the daily grind of newspapers. So I was kind of snooty about it back then.
Sure.
But I did manage my first major job. I worked for Home and Garden magazines in Dallas, a couple of them, and then a little general interest magazine. This was like early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, and the price of oil crashed. And so there was, any luxury advertisers went out of business, and so all the magazines I worked for went out of business. I was laid off twice in 1 year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The only job I could find at that point was a part-time job at the newspaper in Fort Worth, which is the Fort Worth Star Telegram. And it was like part-time updating the restaurant listings in the features department.
Like the shipping news. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Back in the days when Yelp was actually a printed format.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So then you left Texas and came to Anniston with your husband.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. So yes, he is from Alabama, but had come to work at the newspaper in Fort Worth. So we met at the newspaper in Fort Worth. You know, I had been working my way up the features ladder back in the features department. And it was there that I actually first started writing a humor column. It was supposed to be a sort of a what to do this weekend out and about column. I have no idea why they asked me to write it, because I do not go out and about. I know I am not plugged in. But
Automatically
I was like,
makes that funny.
okay, yes. And that's how I coped. I sort of very slowly just turned it into a humor column. I can't remember exactly how I did it, but I think I was maybe talking about movies and I started making fun of movies.
Well,
So it was called Buzz. And it sort of morphed into a pop culture humor column where I would make fun of celebrities and I would make fun of movies and books and TV shows. And I was meaner then, I will say. The most famous column from that era, do you remember Barney the Purple Dinosaur?
I do.
Yeah. So Barney, that show originated in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So all of the features journalists were very sick of Barney very early on. I mean, we just like, it's a purple dinosaur with a stupid theme song. He's just treacly. I mean, we did not like Barney. And there was a growing body of people who also did not like Barney. And so I tried to play into that, and I wrote a column, kind of embarrassed to admit this now. It was like death fantasies for how Barney the Purple Dinosaur could die.
A purple comet, perhaps.
Yes, see, and I admit, I think they were mostly pretty stupid. It was like he trips and falls in the La Brea tar pit, or, you know, he gets in a duel with Barney Fife, the other Barney, who uses his one bullet to, yeah. But, oh my, people were so angry.
So that's why you really left Texas. They
This
ran
is
you
true,
out.
they ran me out.
Bob got a job at the Star because
Yes.
it's like, oh my God, we can't live
Yes.
here any longer.
Yeah. A kindergarten class, an entire kindergarten class wrote me a letter. They were like, our teacher has taught us that if you don't have anything nice to say about someone, you shouldn't say anything at all. And you were very mean to Barney.
So
But
you,
yes.
you who didn't really want to be in journalism in high school and needed an English credit, have given writing credits to kindergartners so that the teacher could motivate them. We're going to learn how to write hate mail to a journalist. Okay, class.
This is true. It is essential training for today's society of how to write hate mail to a journalist.
That's great. So Bob came here for the Star.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And
I came along.
with him,
At that
of course.
point, we had, I left full-time work in '98 when our first child was born, although I did keep up writing the column and some occasional stories. So I came with Bob. The kids at that point would have been 5 and 2.
Ooh.
So I think they asked at the Star if I wanted to come work in the features department, and I was like, no, the kids are still too little. I did keep up writing the column, but in 2009, the Star had an opening for features editor, so I went back in.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun. So as the features editor, I oversaw like the food section, the face section. There was a life and arts section, I think we called it that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I put all those together. And I do remember my first week on the job, it came to the end of the week and we were putting the weekend features section together, and the former features editor had written a column, and so there was this big blank space they left on the page. I was like, oh, I suppose I'll write a column.
Ah.
So,
And that's the first humorous column we got, is that right?
well, I forgot. Can I actually back up?
Yes, you
That was the
can.
first column.
Oh, okay.
But I forgot this part, but I remembered it when I wrote down my notes. It was 2005.
Oh.
I was writing a story back for the newspaper in Fort Worth. I was just freelancing, and I was writing about crafts you could do with your kids for the summer. And I mean, it was like paper mache rabbits and things. And so as an intro to one of those stories, I wrote this little essay about making crafts with my kids. And, I think we needed a cork. And the only cork I could find happened to be in a wine bottle, so I had to empty the wine bottle, which helps with making crafts with your kids.
Yes.
And so and it felt like that was something. It was something new. But I couldn't really tell what it was, so I handed it to my husband. I said, what is this? And he's like, that feels like a radio essay, actually. And he was like, you want me to try to get you on Alabama Public Radio? And I was like, well, sure. So we made some calls, and so it actually, the personal humor, Irma Bombeck style stuff, actually kind of started as radio essays for Alabama Public Radio.
Well, son of a gun.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. All right, well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more about your journey to the humorous columnist. Stay with us here on Meet the Newsmakers.
You may not believe it, but it's true. The 2024 Team 1 Chevys are here. All 2324 Silverado light duties have 2.9% financing for 72 months. The hottest new 24 Team 1 Chevy Blazer, 1.9% financing and no payments till April. And the #1 selling family vehicle, the Equinox. 24 models. You got it. 1.9% financing and no payments till April. Team 1 Chevrolet, home of the best people, the best service, period.
Serving Calhoun County and the state of Alabama since 1994. Locally owned and operated, offering some of the most competitive interest rates in the mortgage industry, along with a wide variety of mortgage products. We are with you throughout the home buying process, offering you service before and after the close. Fast, reliable, local.
And you remember, if you need a home loan, call my daddy.
Hey guys, I'm Cameron Minton with Minton Home Center. Minton Home Center has been in business for over 40 years. We are a family-owned and operated manufactured home dealership. We offer affordable housing for our customers as well as a multitude of different financing options to help our customers get into a new home. When you come to Minton Home Center and you start looking around our lot, the first thing you will notice is that we have the most competitive prices in the industry.
Good afternoon, I'm Dr. Alobidi. I would like to welcome you to our clinic, which is virtually your clinic. We strive to provide a family environment from our nurses as well as the practitioners we have in the clinic to serve you and your family members. We pride ourselves for having state-of-the-art facility here in the clinic to include ultrasound, fibroscan to check on your liver. We welcome you in our clinic, your clinic at Dr. Alobidi's. And thank you so very much.
At DVP Auto Group, we have a wide selection of any type of car you could want. We offer financing for all types of credit. Not only can we help you to purchase a car affordably, but we can help you with any issues you may experience with your car as well. We provide oil change, tire repair, brake service, or anything else you may need. We also gladly accept trade-ins, and if you're willing, we can help you drive away in a new car the same day. If you don't see something you like in the lot, we'll help you find one, whether you buy from us or not. Come see us today.
When you buy insurance online, you may not always be aware of what you're getting. At Allstate Jonathan Everly, we pride ourselves on making sure that our clients are adequately protected. With over 18 years in experience, our staff is more than well prepared to provide you with the best service available. At Allstate Jonathan Everly, you're in good hands.
From our earliest beginnings, Taylor Real Estate Solutions has been a part of the JSU community, serving as Jack State's premier property management partner, but our service extends far beyond management. With over 30 years combined real estate expertise, we are your team for buying and selling real estate. Our knowledgeable agents will guide you through buying and selling process with confidence and ease.
Taylor Real Estate Solutions, Jacksonville's hometown real estate team.
At Martin's Pharmacy, a family-owned business, shopping local means personalized care from a team you trust. We accept most insurance and Medicaid, offer $3 local delivery, and provide essential services like vaccinations and wellness checks. No appointment needed. From over-the-counter items to unique gifts and greeting cards, we have it all. Serving the community since 1997, we're more than a pharmacy. We're your neighbors. Support local and experience the difference at Martin's Pharmacy.
Welcome back. I'm here with Lisa Davis, aka Irma Bombeck of Anniston, humorist and columnist for the Anniston Star these days.
Jon Garlick, you just flatter me too much.
Well, your column is very funny. You know, if you haven't read the Saturday Anniston Star's Lisa Davis column, you should. It's wonderfully funny and homey, and I think it's just perfect for our town and our newspaper. I think it's perfect.
Thank you.
So you were telling us about your journey, and you came here and you started writing at the Star. And Bob is what at the Star now?
He has left the Star.
He's left the Star. I thought so. Yeah. But he was.
He first came here as like the op-ed editor, or the opinions page editor. It's an easier way to understand what op-ed means.
Op-ed, yeah, okay, very good.
It's a journalism. There are a lot of journalism words that
there are a lot of journalism.
Yes, that I realize I use, and they make no sense to anybody else.
Well, when you got to the Star, it was booming right along.
It was,
right, and newspapers, printed papers, were still very popular.
They were still a thing.
And
yes.
Now that whole media, much like television, has had to change with the times
Yes.
and the internet. And the Star, I think, is adapting very well.
Yes.
And they are partnering with us. They are giving us, writing our news content every night.
Yep.
And
They do, if you ever know, they post my column on the website, and they use a giant photo of my head. So if it's like I really need to get more photos to them or something, but it's it's easy to spot me online.
Some of our viewers may be aspiring Irmas or Mark Twains. What kind of advice can you give to writers who are because writing funny, I mean, there's writing prose, there's writing poem, there's doing an essay with a lot of research, but humor, as it is on stage and stand-up comedy, is really hard.
Yes.
So what kind of advice do you have for someone who wants to write humor?
Well, I think, unfortunately, some of it is just innate. It's like just.
So if you don't have it, you don't have it.
But you can cultivate it.
Okay. Like, come on, I got a lousy front yard. The grass is brown, but if I feed it and nurture it, it'll grow.
So first,
let's not discourage people.
But the key is that you notice that your yard is brown, and you think, that's kind of funny. So it's a mindset as much as anything. It's like, because funny things will happen to you. You just have to notice them and be aware of them. I have a lot of readers who will tell me, that happens to me, I just never realized it was funny or it was a thing. And I was like, yeah, I just sort of, over the years, I've become aware of potential funny situations.
As a therapist, that's intriguing. So humor, laughing, of course, creates dopamine, which is good. But you have the ability to take what would otherwise be a very stressful, anxiety-producing, or maybe even depressing situation and find the humor in it.
You are correct. I've never thought of it that way, but yes.
So, and do you, when you're sitting down to write your column, you all of them seem to be very personal, that this happened to me. So when those things are happening to you, are you able to turn what could be an angering or anxiety-provoking event into something funny instantly? Do you go like, oh, this is a problem, but I'm going to write about this and this will be great?
I don't really think of it in terms of problem solving. It's more like, oh, this is funny, I should write about it. It's more.
So you're driving down the road, your tire falls off.
Now that is true, yeah.
And you're like, hey, this is great. This is a column.
Yeah, that's true. It's, yes.
Okay.
So it is personally relieving for me to think, all right, I can at least use this for good.
How far in advance do you write your material?
Oh, it is embarrassingly short term.
I got Friday. What's your deadline?
My deadline is Wednesday.
Okay.
And I usually actually sit down to write Wednesday morning.
Okay.
Now, I do have a big, huge, long list of ideas, because a lot of is once you start to look for funny, that would be my advice to anybody. Just start to be aware of situations that sort of make you go, oh, that's a little different, or that's a little awkward, or I could make a joke about that. I mean, I've heard advice if you try to look for something funny every day and write it down. So that sort of forces you to look for the funny. And at this point, I've been doing this long enough and having to produce something every single week that, yeah, I am constantly looking. I will frequently just stop what I'm doing. At this point, I usually just email myself. It's very old school, but I'll email myself a note. When the kids were younger and at home, and I would write a lot about raising kids, they got used to me just saying, wait, stop what you're doing. I need to write this down. There was one Thanksgiving dinner, I literally had a little pad and paper at the side of the table. Yeah, my husband used to use it as sort of a threat to the kids if they were being particularly ridiculous. He would like, stop it, or you're going to wind up in a column.
You know, that's good advice for anything. That could be on CNN later.
Yes, yeah. Bob's other advice is never put anything in an email you want read on the national news.
That's right. That's right. Now we've always heard from stand-up comics, you know, like Robin Williams always commented, and he of course was very depressed personality, but he would say that most comedians are putting themselves out there to entertain other people, to help them feel better, but really on the inside they're very depressed. Now you're not out in front of people because you get nervous being in front of people. So does that change the dynamic? I mean, you're a comedian, you're a humorist, but you're not a stand-up comic. So do you find that you're not in the Robin Williams state of depression all the time, and you write the column to pull yourself out of it, or?
It's not really that. There is a very, very close connection between depression and creativity. That's why so many musicians and artists are depressed. And yeah, it's sort of a coping mechanism. I think I read once, like the actual brain pattern for creative thinking and depression is very close. So it's sort of like the neurons run the same way. So they are kind of related. I once read this really, really fascinating, actually I heard it, TED Talk. I think it was Elizabeth Gilbert, but she was talking about this idea of the muse, and that we need to sort of bring back the idea of a muse for creative people, because that takes the pressure of it all coming from you. And that was, she was sensing a lot of that pressure in like high profile performers and comedians, and so.
So your muse is just life around you.
Yes, but I do really think I have I mean, I think of things as a muse, because it's like if I try to stop and think, where is all of this coming from? Where are these ideas coming from? It doesn't feel like they're coming from inside my brain. It feels like they're coming from outside, and they're channeling through my brain.
Inspiration.
Yes.
Inspiration, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's fascinating. And, you know, I think I really do read your articles, and I do think about Irma Bomback and Mark Twain, very homegrown, homey humorists, finding the humor in everyday life. So what's your column going to be this coming Saturday? You don't know yet. It's not
Actually,
Wednesday.
this is a rare occasion. I do know. So obviously I'm getting better at putting myself out in public and embarrassing myself. I will plug this. So Grace Episcopal Church has an annual festival called Lobster Fest.
Lobster Fest, yes.
Yes, big family festival with lobster dinners, benefit for Habitat for Humanity. And for the first time this year, they set up a booth at Oxford Fest just to sort of sell tickets and do publicity for the festival. And we have a lobster costume. So lobster in a pot of boiling water. So I volunteered to wear the lobster costume. In whatever 90-degree heat was going on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
so-
must have been fun for you.
Oh, it was.
So
yes.
you came out red as a lobster.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. It was like the whole point was I'm being boiled alive in this pot. So you know this. I'm committed to the bit.
The Lobster Fest is the reason I ended up at Grace Church, 1997. Robert Childers recruited me in a very embarrassing moment, by the way. We were at a Donahoe Parents luncheon, and I was seated next to Robert Childers, who is an Episcopal priest, so he was wearing the white collar and the black. But I didn't notice this because I was very preoccupied with work. I was at Libras at the time, and I'm thinking about that. So I'm eating, and I'm not even paying any attention to who's around me, and he introduces himself, and he asked me what I did, and I told him, and I said, "What do you do?" And he said, "Well, I'm a priest." And I thought, I'm going to look at you, and you're going to be wearing the collar, aren't you? And he goes, "Yes, I am." And I looked and I was like, I'm alert. And then he asked me where I was from. I told him I had been living in Maine for a while, and he said, "Do you know anything about lobsters?" I said, "I do." And so this is my second year, he had me come down and help cook the lobsters.
Yep.
So that's coming up when?
October 16th.
16th, right.
I wrote down all the dates but that one.
Okay, yes, that's
So
coming
that's
up.
Saturday after this one, I think, is the 16th, yes.
Yeah, unfortunately I'm going to miss it. I'm going to be at the Stone Mountain Highland Games. My bagpipe band is competing in the Stone Mountain Highland Games.
See, I was going to say, you have remembered that funny episode, and now you have told it, so
Yes.
you're an official humorist.
Okay.
And now I want to hear bagpipe stories next time.
There are several bagpipe stories. You don't play bagpipes without having some interesting stories. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today, and please take a look at Saturday's paper to look at Lisa's column. It's very funny, and as is some of the other columns. Donna Barton is in there. She does an entertainment something. She does something. We'll get
Mostly
Donna on the
food.
show.
Mostly
She can
food
explain
right
it
now.
to us. But we appreciate you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Meet the Newsmakers. Have a wonderful evening and a fantastic weekend.
Come out and check out the Alabama Tractor Difference. We can take care of all your needs of parts, sales, and service for RTVs, zero turns, and tractors and construction equipment. See us here in Lincoln at 620 Speedway Industrial Drive. Or come visit us here in Asheville at 275 6th Avenue, or give us a call at 205-594-7000.
Paint and Body Works Towing and Recovery in Oxford is the area's leading auto body shop, serving Anniston, Oxford, Talladega, and surrounding areas since 1996. They specialize in auto body repair and refinishing, paint correction, paintless dent repair, towing, and so much more. For all of your auto body needs, contact Hughes Paint and Body Works Towing and Recovery at 256-835-1170. Also online at HughesPaintandBody.com.
At Bentley Prosthetic and Medical Supply, we care about you. We offer custom prosthetics, orthotics, diabetic shoes, and durable medical supplies. We're located here in Alexandria, Alabama, where it's a country feel but professional care. Come see us today.
You need strength, resilience, and hope to face life challenges. And I found all three at Gaston State Community College. I'm Jada Pickens, an Office Administration student at Gaston State's Ayers campus in Anniston. Along with attending classes, I work full-time. Life is very demanding. There is a real sense of support at Gaston State. The faculty and staff care about us as individuals and want us to thrive in the classroom and in life. Thank you, Gaston State, for giving me the wings to fly to new, unexpected heights.
I'm Alan Parnell with Parnell Insurance Agency. We've been here in Oxford and Alabama, Tallapoosa, Georgia since 1990. With Auto Owners Insurance, we're able to give customers competitive pricing along with excellent coverages. Parnell Insurance can handle all of your personal, commercial, and life insurance needs. We have a very experienced staff, both personal and commercial. All together, we've got about 125 years experience. Come see what our insurance agency can do for you in Oxford, Alabama, and Tallapoosa, Georgia.
Auto Owners Insurance.
Hello, I'm Taylor Sloan with the City of Oxford, with a word about one of our city's most precious resources, water. Clean water enriches our lives in so many ways, but we cannot afford to take it for granted. Remember, every time you pour something unnatural down the drain or in the environment, and every time you litter, our beautiful lakes and creeks suffer. Our city is beautiful. Let's all join together to keep it that way. Stop pollution where it starts, and help protect our waters for life.
At Campers Unlimited, we offer a no-pressure experience, no hidden fees, and great service after the sale, making us one of the fastest-growing RV dealers in the Southeast. With our second location in Oxford, we offer a great selection of over 220 campers from top brands, including Grand Design. Our mission is to help friends and family spend time together in the great outdoors. At Campers Unlimited, you aren't just a customer, you are family. Check out our inventory at campersunlimited.net or come see us at Gaston or Oxford.
What can you buy for $10? A hat? A milkshake? 166 channels plus live sports? That's right, for only $10 you can get 166 channels of classic TV shows and movies, including the latest news update from all around the world and local sports. Just simply go to 24ctn.com and click download, and then for only $10 you can have access to the best TV available.